Hi everyone, this is Ollie responding to this thread that you guys have just put together. Yeah, it sounds like everyone's, or some people are feeling a bit worried about linear equations and whether they should be in the unit and that kind of a thing. So I just wanted to kind of give you a bit of a guided tour of Khan Academy, which is a really amazing resource. So let's jump on Khan Academy, khanacademy.org. This is the best resource I've found for learning maths online. So you can just go straight to subjects here and then maths, and then you've got all these options here. So I think probably where we want to go would be into pre-algebra, but there's a lot of stuff on here and it's worth just having an explore. You can also just search up here. Okay, I can't actually see it there, so I'm just going to go linear and see what comes up. Now, oh look, here you go, linear equations 1, 2, 3, 4. And so there's two things. There's videos, which are these play buttons. There's skills, which are these kind of stars here. So graphing linear equations, interpreting linear relationships, graphing linear equalities. So let's just look at one first. Or I'm gonna try and find, because I think intercepts are good places to start. So let's start with linear function intercepts. So basically the way this is set out is you have to get 5 correct in a row to enable you to pass this level. So the following table of values represents x, y on the graph of a linear function. Determine the y-intercept of this graph. So we look at this and we say, well, okay, first can I work it out? Good question. So the y-intercept is when x equals 0. Y-intercept is when x has a value of 0. So let's have a think about this. When x is 0, it's going to be halfway between -2 and 2. So that's going to be halfway between 0 and 8, which will probably be 4. So I got that right. It gave me a nice sound. But say, what if you couldn't do that, right? Well, there's a couple of options. You can say, show me a worked example. You can say, I'd like a hint, or you can watch a video. Let's start with a hint. Now it's important to note that this button's orange, and so if you press this button, you get marked as wrong. So you watch up there, I hit I'd like a hint, and it puts up this thing which suggests that you've marked it wrong, but that doesn't matter because we're here to learn anyway rather than pass. So since we have a linear function, we can assume the equation has the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the rate of change and b is the y-intercept of this graph. Okay, great, that doesn't really help. What are we going to do? First, let's determine the rate of change, m. We can observe that for each increase of 1 in the x values, for example, if we go from -2 to -1, that's an increase in 1, there is a corresponding change of -1 in the y values. So we go from -2 to -1. That's a step of 1. Let's just do this. Let's get a graph going. Okay, so let's just y equals, so the slope's -1, so we could say, let me just have a think for a second. -2. So y is starting -2. It's decreasing. So let's go -1 x minus 6. Okay. So say the graph looks something like this. So what we're saying is that we can observe that an increase of 1 in the x values, so this is going, for example, from x equals -2 which is here, x equals -2 here, or there. See, x is the first number, because we go x, y, z. X is the first coordinate, -2, and we start at -4. And as we increase of 1 in the x values, there is a corresponding change of -1 in the y values. So we go from -2 here, and we go down, increase x of 1 corresponds to a decrease of y by 1. For example, the x values change from -4 to -3, so the example they use is here, -4 to -3. An increase of 1 in the x coordinate. The corresponding y values change from -2 to -3, so we start at -4, so -2 to -3. So increase of 1 in the x, a decrease of 1 in the y. So this is the gradient. M gradient equals change in y over change in x. dy over dx, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So great, didn't help me too much. Now let's determine b. The y-intercept of the graph of the equation is this. So anyway, I won't go through this whole example, but you can see that this just steps you through. That it shows the graph, tells us, and eventually tells us what the y-intercept is. Well, okay. What about this show me a worked example problem? What does that do? The solution. Since we have a linear function, we can assume the equation. So you can see, and so if you like reading, that's great. You can kind of work it out that way. Or if you like to watch a video, just click on the video. It doesn't take you away from the page. Just brings the video up right there. And Solomon Khan will give you the rundown.
The graph of the line 2y plus 3x equals 7 is given. Right over here, determine its x-intercept.
His mouse confused me a bit there.
The x-intercept is the x
Awesome. So that's great. Hopefully that helps. I guess the other thing I just want to make sure you're aware of is the weekly summaries, which I've put together. I put them together last semester. So we go to content. And then it should be down somewhere like maybe in weekly summaries. Week summary, what have we just had? We just had week 5. Is this right? Yep, and then the video is right there. There's me, haha. So yep, and hopefully this will help you work out what's going on.
Welcome to the
There's me talking again. So hopefully that was helpful, guys, and good luck. Please continue to communicate on the message boards, and don't feel free to message me through the message board or even send me an email. Awesome. Good luck.